In a tale that starts with warmth and ends in unexpected drama, Jonas, a dedicated father and successful architect, lives a life focused on his young daughter, Julie, and his burgeoning career. After a harrowing incident where Julie nearly meets with an accident, Jonas is saved by Lara, a homeless woman who risks everything to protect her. Moved by her act of heroism, Jonas offers Lara a chance to rebuild her life by giving her a job in his office. For a while, Lara's hard work and dedication shine, and she even forms a special bond with Julie. But as the story unfolds, a plot twist arises when Jonas's secretary, Jennifer, feeling threatened by Lara's growing presence, manipulates circumstances to have Lara dismissed. What begins as a heartfelt story of redemption and second chances takes a dramatic turn as the true colors of those involved come to light. If you are not subscribed, I recommend you subscribe and activate the bell to avoid missing any videos. Before we dive into this story, please let me know where you're watching from in the comments. At the crack of dawn, the shrill ring of his cell phone jolted Jonas from a fragile, unrestful slumber. The familiar hum of his busy routine was disrupted by an unsettling sense of foreboding. He groaned, pushing himself out of bed, his mind already consumed with the day's looming trials. A hasty shower later, he moved to the next room, where his precious daughter Julie, his sole source of joy amidst the chaos of his life, lay nestled under her covers. With a tender touch, Jonas brushed Julie's tousled hair, his voice soft and gentle as he said, "Wake up, my sweet Yulia. It's time to start our day. We have so much to do and we can't afford to be late for school." Julie, her eyelids heavy with sleep, murmured a sleepy protest. "Dad, can't I have just 5 more minutes? And I don't want cereal today. I also don't want to come to your office after school. It's so dull." Struggling to balance firmness with affection, Jonas replied, "No cereal today, sweetheart. I've made toast with your favorite jam instead. And about the office, Jennifer, my secretary, will be picking you up after school. You know you're too young to stay home alone, especially since your nanny is still unwell. Now come on, my little angel. Breakfast is waiting for you." Despite the outward trappings of wealth and success, Jonas's life as a celebrated architect was a whirlwind of relentless routines, starting from the break of day. His days were a blur of school runs, office meetings, project deadlines, and late-night negotiations. The unraveling of his marriage to Kelly and the sting of betrayal by his former business partner, Gail, had driven him to immerse himself even further in work, often at the expense of his time with Julie. The brave leap into founding his architectural firm after his previous partnership had crumbled was both a courageous and draining endeavor. Jonas had painstakingly rebuilt his professional life, reclaiming lost clients and forging new connections across neighboring cities. His dedication was unwavering, though it left him precious little time to spend with Julie. Often, he had to bring her along to the office after school, as his late nights made it impossible for him to leave her at home alone. The realization that another demanding day at work was coming to a close barely registered with him. Jennifer had already taken her son to the office after ballet, leaving Julie to slump in a chair, her spirit weary. She recounted her school day and her grades, and then voiced her discontent. "Dad, I don't like being here. It's so boring. Can I call Mom and go stay with her? I haven't heard from her in ages, and I miss her." Jonas exhaled a heavy sigh, his heart aching with a mix of resignation and sympathy. "Of course, you can call her, Julie. She's your mother, after all. But I doubt she'll have time for you. She's always wrapped up in her world of important matters." Julie's eyes glistened with disappointment as she dialed her mother's number. The call connected, and her voice, tinged with longing, came through. "Hi, Mom. It's been a while since you've called me. I was wondering if you could take me out for ice cream or maybe I could come over to your house. I miss you." After a few moments of anxious silence, Kelly finally answered the phone with a tremor in her voice. "Sweetheart," she began, her tone betraying her nervousness. "I'm not swamped with work today, but you know how it is with me. I'm always running around. If I manage to carve out some time this weekend, I promise I'll give you a call. Okay?" The words felt like a heavy blow to Julie's hopeful heart, and she visibly deflated, her small face falling into a sad pout. Jonas, watching his daughter's disappointment, felt a pang of sorrow. It hurt him deeply to see Julie's longing for her mother unreciprocated, especially when the woman in question seemed so indifferent to the girl's wishes. Determined to lift Julie's spirits, Jonas decided to take a break from his work. He flashed her a warm, reassuring smile and said, "How about this? I'm gonna step away from my desk for a bit. Let's go out for a gigantic 3-scoop ice cream, topped with strawberry sauce, chocolate drizzle, and colorful sprinkles. What do you think?" The mention of the treat immediately brightened Julie's face, and her previous gloom melted away as she excitedly chattered about her school day. After indulging in their decadent ice cream feast, Julie settled down with her notebook to tackle her homework, while Jonas headed out for a crucial work meeting. Hours later, Jonas returned to find Julie curled up on the couch, cocooned in a sea of blankets, her tiny body softly rising and falling with sleep. A gentle smile spread across Jonas's face as he observed the peaceful scene. He brewed himself a strong cup of coffee, sank into his favorite leather armchair, and closed his eyes, allowing his thoughts to drift. He dreamed of a future where Julie would have all the opportunities he was deprived of during his tumultuous childhood marked by poverty and heartache. Jonas's journey from his challenging upbringing to becoming a prominent architect was filled with struggles and perseverance. His early years were marred by a dysfunctional family life, where love and support were scarce. His father, an alcoholic, was perpetually absent, and his mother, overburdened and exhausted, was unable to provide the emotional nourishment he craved. Yet, despite these hardships, Jonas possessed a brilliant mind and an extraordinary talent for design and architecture. From a young age, he excelled academically, especially in subjects requiring innovative thinking and creativity. His teachers recognized his exceptional potential, frequently praising his dedication and skill. Alongside his academic pursuits, Jonas harbored a secret passion for drawing intricate structures and buildings. His imagination spilled over onto paper, where he sketched groundbreaking designs and inventive architectural solutions. Despite his financial constraints, he participated in design competitions, using basic materials to craft standout projects. However, when Jonas expressed his aspiration to become an architect, his mother dismissed his dreams as unrealistic and urged him to pursue a more practical career. "Who do you think you are, wasting your time on those drawings?" she scoffed. "There's no future in that. You should focus on becoming a doctor, where you'll truly succeed." Undeterred by his family's skepticism, Jonas clung to his passion, determined to transform his life. He left his hometown in pursuit of education and opportunities that could turn his dreams into reality. The early days were grueling, with scarce resources forcing him to work as a waiter, salesman, and doorman just to get by. At university, he immersed himself in architecture, surviving on scholarships and part-time jobs. It was there he met Kelly, an interior design student who seemed destined for greatness. Ambitious and strikingly beautiful, Kelly captured Jonas's heart from the moment they met. Together, they envisioned a future filled with success. After graduating, Jonas and Kelly married and launched an architectural firm. Their business thrived, thanks to Jonas's innovative vision and Kelly's aesthetic sensibility. However, the relentless demands of their careers, combined with household responsibilities, began to strain their relationship. Kelly felt increasingly neglected, especially after the birth of their daughter, Julie. Craving more attention and affection, she made a sudden decision to leave the firm and sought solace in the arms of another man. This new chapter in Kelly's life was far from what she had anticipated. Though she remained involved with Jonas for their daughter's sake, her heart yearned for something more to rekindle her passion. Enter Gail, the charming new partner at Jonas's firm. Initially introduced by Jonas, Gail's captivating smile and keen business acumen quickly caught Kelly's eye. One evening, when they were alone at the office, Gail's subtle advances eventually led to an encounter that left Kelly grappling with regret. By the time she realized the gravity of her actions, she found herself entangled with Jonas's new business partner, a betrayal that would forever alter their lives. What began as a hesitant step into infidelity swiftly spiraled into a full-blown affair for Kelly. By the time dawn broke, she returned home for the first time, her heart heavy with the weight of her betrayal against Jonas. The once clear lines of her commitment to her family had blurred, and Kelly's growing relationship with Gail consumed every ounce of her attention. No longer content with the life she had built, she began to concoct elaborate excuses to justify her frequent absences from home. Claiming to be overwhelmed by the demands of parenting and desperate for some respite, she would vanish nearly every night, leaving Jonas and their daughter, Julie, to navigate their lives without her presence. As the nights stretched on, Jonas could not ignore the gnawing sense that something was deeply amiss. The once familiar warmth and connection in his home had been replaced with a cold, palpable emptiness. His attempts to confront Kelly, seeking to unravel the mystery behind her changing demeanor, were met with evasions and false reassurances. Despite his growing jealousy and hurt, Jonas held on to a fragile hope that their love might somehow mend the rift. He was unwilling to accept the disintegration of his family and dreaded the idea of divorce, especially considering Julie's need for a stable, loving mother. However, when Julie celebrated her 5th birthday, the situation reached its breaking point. Kelly, overwhelmed by the demands of her double life, made the heartbreaking decision to leave Jonas and their daughter. Her departure was coldly marked by a note that conveyed the finality of her decision. "I'm sorry, but I can't continue like this. I've fallen in love with Gail and no longer have feelings for you, Jonas. I'm asking for a divorce." The words struck Jonas like a thunderbolt, leaving him reeling from the sudden void Kelly's absence created. He grappled with the daunting task of explaining to Julie why her mother had chosen to leave them for someone else, especially someone Jonas had trusted as a colleague. The nights became the most excruciating part of his new reality, with Jonas struggling to comfort his heartbroken daughter while wrestling with his grief. The legal battles that followed compounded his suffering. In the courtroom, Jonas was dealt another crushing blow when he discovered that Gail had exploited legal loopholes to siphon off the bulk of the company's assets into his name. The betrayal was not just emotional but financial, leaving Jonas with only the family home as a small solace amid the chaos. Despite the public scorn and the whispers of dishonor that followed him, Jonas resolved not to let these trials define his future. If you're still tuned into this video and find the story inspiring, drop a 1 in the comments to let me know you're still with me. Determined to forge a new path, Jonas poured his heart into a long-abandoned dream, establishing his sustainable architecture firm. With the support of old friends and the encouragement of the community, Jonas began to see a glimmer of hope. His new ventures in sustainable design not only revitalized his career but also breathed new life into his and Julie's home. His innovative projects transformed the city's approach to construction, turning waste into valuable resources and altering the city's environmental impact. The mayor even honored him for his contributions, a testament to his resilience and creativity. As he reclaimed and expanded his assets, Jonas slowly rebuilt the life he had lost. Yet, even as he achieved success, Jonas found himself falling into an old trap, neglecting Julie in his quest for redemption. The balance he sought remained elusive as he buried himself in work, attempting to compensate for the emotional void left by Kelly's departure. One afternoon, as Jonas was consumed by thoughts of how to better his situation and be the parent Julie needed, he was jolted from his reverie by a knock on the office door. Jonas's heart raced as he opened the office door and took one last glance at Julie, who lay peacefully on the couch. He had hoped to finish up some work before waking her, but when he returned, the sight of an empty couch struck him with a wave of panic. Julie had never disappeared without a trace, and the absence of her usual presence felt like a heavy blow. Shortly after, Julie woke up, rubbing her eyes and feeling the boredom of her confined surroundings. Her gaze drifted out the window, drawn to the lively park across the street. The swings, slides, and monkey bars beckoned to her, offering a moment of escape from the drab office. Fueled by a sudden urge for adventure, Julie decided to sneak out and enjoy some time at the park before returning. Her spontaneous plan took a dark turn when she was abruptly jolted back to the sidewalk by the screeching brakes of a car. Startled and tearful, she looked up at a stranger, a disheveled woman with a weary appearance. "You need to be more careful when crossing the street," the woman said softly, her voice gentle and reassuring. "It was a close call. Now stop crying. Everything is okay. What's your name?" With trembling lips and wet cheeks, Julie managed to say, "My name is Yulia. My dad is working in that building. I just wanted to play for a while. He's going to be mad at me." Her innocent fear tugged at the woman's heart, and she extended her hand with a warm smile. "Don't worry, Yulia. I'll walk you back. Let's get you back before your dad notices you're gone." Meanwhile, Jonas's search for Julie escalated into a frantic chase through the building. Every corner and room was checked, and every phone call was made in desperation. The thought of her wandering alone outside consumed him with dread. He even enlisted Jennifer, the secretary, to help him in the search. As they stepped outside, Jonas's heart sank at the sight of Julie with the stranger. His fear and confusion boiled over, prompting him to rush forward with an angry shout. "Who are you? What do you want with my daughter? Get away from her immediately, or I'll call the police." "Dad, don't yell at her," Julie interjected, her voice trembling. "This lady saved me. I almost got hit by a car. I didn't see it, but she pulled me to the sidewalk. I'm sorry, but she was nice." Jonas's rage melted into relief as he embraced Julie tightly, his voice thick with emotion. "Julie, my love, I was so scared. Please don't ever do that again. You don't understand how dangerous it is. You're the most precious thing I have. I can't let anything bad happen to you." Turning to the stranger, Jonas's initial anger faded into shame and gratitude. "I'm sorry for shouting. I didn't realize what was happening. Thank you for saving my daughter. I stepped away from the office for just a moment, and she was gone when I came back. I'm eternally grateful. I see you might need money. Please, accept this," Jonas offered, extending some cash from his wallet. The woman shook her head firmly. "No, young man, I don't need your money. I did it from the heart and didn't expect anything in return. If you want to help me, I'd like to find a job. I want to start a new life. I can't stand living like this anymore." Jonas's heart softened at the woman's plight. He turned to Jennifer, speaking quietly. "Why don't we consider hiring her? With the increase in our projects, it might be beneficial to have someone to help with clients. What do you think?" Jennifer nodded thoughtfully, and Jonas looked back at the woman with a hopeful smile. "If you're interested, we might have a position available that could be a good fit. Let's talk about it further and see how we can help each other." The woman's face brightened with cautious hope as she accepted the offer, and Jonas, with renewed purpose, turned his attention back to Julie. The unexpected turn of events had not only reminded him of the fragility of life, but also offered a new opportunity for connection and renewal. Jennifer's face contorted with disapproval as she muttered, "You're the boss, but I don't like the idea. She might start stealing or using drugs at work. I don't trust her. Just look at how she's dressed." Jonas, despite recognizing Jennifer's concerns, remained resolute. "You're right to be cautious," he said, "but we owe her a chance. She saved my daughter's life, and she deserves an opportunity to prove herself. We'll start with a 1 or 2 month trial period and see how it goes." Turning to the woman, Jonas asked, "What's your name? Do you have identification? Are you ready to work as an assistant in our office?" "My name is Lara. Yes, I have identification. Thank you so much for this opportunity. It's exactly what I need. I'm ready to start whenever you want. I'll be the best at what you propose, you can be sure," Lara replied earnestly. "I'm Jonas, head architect of the office. You'll be working with Jennifer, my secretary. Come back tomorrow at 8. She will explain everything and supervise you." True to her word, Lara began working at Jonas's architecture office as an assistant. She was dedicated and polite, always presenting herself impeccably. With her first salary, she bought new clothes, cut her hair, and rented a small room. Her gratitude for the chance to start anew was palpable, and she formed a special bond with Yulia, who trusted her and shared her joys and troubles. 3 months later, Jonas was very pleased with Lara's performance. Her diligence and willingness to help were impressive. However, Jennifer, Jonas's secretary, felt increasingly uncomfortable with Lara's presence and the growing closeness between Lara and Yulia. Jennifer had always harbored secret feelings for Jonas, and with his separation from Kelly, she saw an opportunity to become closer to him. But Lara's competence at work made Jennifer view her as a threat. Determined to remove Lara, Jennifer devised a plan to incriminate her. She deliberately asked Lara to look for certain documents and then staged a scene, claiming that Lara had been mishandling confidential files. "Jonas, we have a problem," Jennifer said, her voice tinged with distress. "I left Lara alone for a moment and discovered that she was reviewing confidential documents. I think you should consider firing her. Remember, I warned you about the risks of hiring someone like that. Well, now it's happened, just as I said." Confused and surprised by the accusations, Jonas confronted Lara, who vehemently denied the allegations. "I did not steal anything. If you do not trust me, I would rather leave than be falsely accused of something I did not do. I do not want to be accused of something worse or sent to jail," Lara stated firmly. Jonas, believing in Lara's innocence, promised to investigate the matter thoroughly. He decided to put Jennifer on leave while they cleared up the situation. Jennifer was enraged that her plan had failed. Moreover, Yulia, who had witnessed Jennifer's behavior, approached her father. "Dad, Lara is innocent. I saw Jennifer messing with her documents. I wanted to incriminate Lara because she doesn't like her, but I saw everything. I was under the table when I saw Jennifer calling Lara to mess with the documents, and then she started yelling at her," the little girl revealed. "Thank you, Yulia. When did this happen? Do you remember?" Jonas asked. "You've helped solve a very complicated situation. I'm very proud of you." Grateful for Yulia's intervention and relieved to uncover the truth, Jonas reviewed the security camera footage, which confirmed Lara's innocence. He then confronted Jennifer with the evidence. "Why did you do this? You've worked with me for so long, and yet you betrayed that trust. Tell me, what was your reason?" Jennifer's expression hardened, and after a long, uncomfortable pause, she replied, "Why? Because she's a dirty, dumb tramp. I decided I had to teach her a lesson. She needed to learn her place." Jonas's disappointment was palpable. "I trusted you, Jennifer, and this is how you repay that trust. You've not only harmed Lara but also jeopardized the entire office. I'm going to have to let you go, effective immediately." As Jennifer gathered her belongings and left the office, Jonas turned to Lara, who was waiting anxiously. "I'm sorry you had to go through this," he said sincerely. "You've proven yourself to be honest and dedicated. We value you here, and I hope you'll continue to be a part of our team." If you're still tuned into this video and find the story inspiring, drop a 2 in the comments to let me know you're still with me. Lara's eyes welled with tears of relief and gratitude. "Thank you, Jonas. I promise I'll continue to work hard and be honest. I appreciate this chance more than you know." With the office atmosphere finally restored, Jonas, Lara, and Yulia began to focus on their future. The unexpected turn of events had tested their resilience, but it also reaffirmed the values of trust and integrity that they held dear. Jonas's anger was palpable as he processed Jennifer's audacious response. The betrayal from someone he had trusted for so long left him reeling. As Jennifer was escorted out, Jonas turned to Lara, who stood there, visibly relieved but still shaken. "Jonas, thank you so much for not firing me," Lara said, her voice filled with sincere gratitude. "I didn't do anything wrong. I'm just starting to live like a normal person, and I realize that I might not seem like the best fit yet, but I'm working hard to reintegrate into society. If you ever need anything, I'll always be here to help." Jonas, moved by Lara's words and her perseverance, found himself curious about her past. "Forgive my curiosity, but there's something I can't shake off. How did you end up living on the streets? You seem like a person who's stayed away from drugs and alcohol, so it's hard to understand how you found yourself in that situation. How did that happen?" Lara took a deep breath, her eyes reflecting the pain of her past. "It's a long story. My life has been a roller coaster of highs and lows. I grew up without knowing my mother, and my father was an alcoholic. Despite that, I managed to have what I considered a normal childhood. The smell of alcohol and cigarettes was a constant in our home, and my father brought different women around, which kept me distanced from any interest in drinking. After finishing school, I went to community college, took up jobs, and eventually started my own business. I found some success and even met a man who seemed perfect. But after we got married, he betrayed me in the worst way. He took all my money and disappeared, leaving me with nothing. I had to close my businesses and lost my home. The feeling of losing everything was overwhelming. But then saving your daughter sparked a new flame of hope within me. It gave me the strength to want to rebuild my life. My dream is simple: to live a normal life, start a family, have children, and contribute positively to society. Jonas listened intently, his past echoing in Lara's story. It's strange, our stories are quite similar. I grew up in a dysfunctional family and had a challenging childhood, which I'd rather forget. My wife also left me for my former partner, who not only betrayed me with her but also took a significant portion of my hard-earned fortune. Julie still misses her mother, but Kelly seems to have forgotten about her. The last time she visited was over 3 months ago. Despite these challenges, I managed to overcome them. I believe you can too. The most important thing is your desire to change, and that's fundamental. As time passed, Jonas and Lara developed a strong professional relationship and personal friendship. They worked together to grow and prosper the office, overcoming various challenges. However, a new and unexpected challenge soon emerged for Jonas. One morning, Jonas received an email that rocked him to his core. A wedding invitation from Kelly, his ex-wife, who was marrying Gail, his former partner. The invitation itself was a shock, but there was more. Just minutes after receiving it, Jonas got a call from a major Chinese investor. The investor would be in town for the wedding and wanted to meet Jonas at the event to discuss a potentially game-changing business opportunity. The timing was both fortuitous and daunting. The chance to advance his career came with the cost of confronting his painful past. Jonas felt a mix of apprehension and determination. This was a pivotal moment where he would have to navigate personal and professional challenges simultaneously. Lara's eyes widened in surprise at Jonas's request. She had always been supportive, but this was a new level of involvement. She took a deep breath, considering the gravity of the situation. "I didn't expect this, Jonas," Lara said, her voice tinged with a mix of concern and curiosity. "But I understand the importance of this meeting and the potential impact it could have. If this is crucial for you and the future of your business, I'm willing to help. I just want to make sure we're clear on a few things." Jonas nodded, visibly relieved. "Absolutely. I appreciate your willingness. The main goal is to present a united front and make it clear that I've moved on from the past. I don't want to give Kelly or Gail any satisfaction by showing up alone. I need to make it clear that I'm in a good place and that I'm not affected by their actions." Lara took a moment to gather her thoughts. "Okay, I understand. We'll need to work out some details, how we'll present ourselves and how we'll interact at the event. But I want you to know that this is just a temporary arrangement. I don't want there to be any misunderstandings or complications." Jonas smiled gratefully. "Of course, I'll make sure to communicate clearly with you about everything. And I promise, this will be a one-time arrangement." As the day of the wedding approached, Jonas and Lara began to prepare. Lara took the opportunity to buy a new dress and get her hair done, wanting to ensure she looked the part. Jonas arranged for a car to pick them up, making sure everything was in place for their appearance at the wedding. When the day arrived, Jonas and Lara arrived at the venue together. The atmosphere was filled with an air of festivity and underlying tension. Jonas's eyes scanned the crowd, eventually landing on Kelly and Gail. Kelly's face showed a mixture of triumph and surprise upon seeing Jonas with Lara. As they mingled, Lara played her role impeccably, engaging in pleasant conversation and maintaining a poised demeanor. The Chinese investor was duly impressed by their appearance and the way they presented themselves. The evening unfolded with the usual wedding festivities, and amidst the celebratory chaos, Jonas had the opportunity to have a detailed discussion with the investor. Amid the conversations and toasts, Jonas found a moment to speak with Kelly. "I hope you're happy with your new life, Kelly," he said, his voice calm but firm. "I came here today not to dwell on the past but to move forward and focus on new opportunities. I hope this day brings you what you're looking for." Kelly's expression softened slightly. "Jonas, I didn't expect this. I guess it's good to see you've moved on. I hope you find success and happiness." The evening concluded with a promising discussion between Jonas and the investor. By the end of the night, Jonas felt a sense of relief. The wedding, despite its emotional challenges, had turned into a productive opportunity. As they left the venue, Lara and Jonas shared a moment of genuine conversation. "Thank you for doing this, Lara," Jonas said sincerely. "It meant a lot to me. I hope this has given you some insight into my past and the challenges I've faced." Lara smiled warmly. "It's been an eye-opening experience, and I'm glad I could help. We both have our battles, but it's how we face them that defines us. I'm here for you, and I'm grateful for the chance to support you." As they drove away from the wedding, Jonas felt a renewed sense of hope and determination. The event opened new doors for his career and allowed him to face his past with dignity. With Lara's support, he was ready to tackle the future and the opportunities that lay ahead. The room fell silent as Lara took the microphone. Her words hung in the air, sharp and clear, cutting through the uneasy murmur that had settled over the guests. Jonas stood by, watching with a mix of admiration and apprehension. The elegant setting of the wedding, once filled with joyful celebration, now seemed to pulse with tension. Lara continued, her voice steady but passionate. "I may not come from a wealthy background, but I am a person who values honesty and integrity. I was given a chance to start over, and I've worked hard to prove myself. It's disheartening to see someone use their position to shame and humiliate others. We all have our struggles and our stories, and those shouldn't be used as weapons against us." Kelly's face flushed with a mix of anger and embarrassment. She had underestimated Lara's strength and composure. The guests, many of whom had been whispering and speculating, now looked on with a mixture of surprise and respect for Lara's courage. The contrast between Kelly's impulsive outburst and Lara's dignified response was stark. Jonas took the opportunity to step forward, standing beside Lara. "Thank you, Lara. I want everyone to understand that this night was meant to celebrate a new chapter in our lives. We all have our pasts, but it's how we move forward that defines us. I wanted to show you that despite the challenges, we can rise above and find happiness. I hope this serves as a reminder of that." The atmosphere began to shift. The guests, initially taken aback by the drama, now seemed to reflect on Jonas's words. Some began to murmur in support, acknowledging the unfairness of Kelly's accusations. Kelly, realizing the damage she had done, tried to salvage the situation. She approached Jonas and Lara, her expression a mix of contrition and defiance. "I'm sorry if my actions have caused any discomfort," she said, though her tone still carried a trace of defensiveness. "I was only trying to protect my event." Jonas's eyes met Kelly's with a steely resolve. "This is not about protecting an event, Kelly. It's about integrity and respect. You chose to attack someone who was only trying to do their best. I hope you take this moment to reflect on how you handle conflicts and the impact of your actions." With that, Jonas and Lara left the stage. As they walked away from the spotlight, the guests began to disperse, their conversations shifting from the drama to more subdued topics. The wedding's festive atmosphere had been disrupted, but the impact of Lara's words and Jonas's steadfast support had created a moment of clarity. Outside the venue, Jonas and Lara found a quiet spot away from the crowd. Lara, though visibly shaken, managed to smile. "Thank you for standing by me," she said. "It's been a difficult evening, but I'm grateful for your support." Jonas nodded, his expression one of deep appreciation. "I should be the one thanking you. Your strength and dignity tonight have shown everyone, including myself, what matters. We've faced this challenge together, and I'm proud of how you handled it." As they drove away from the wedding, the potential clients' meeting was still on their minds, but the evening had already been a testament to their resilience and commitment. The business opportunity remained, but the night had revealed much more than just a professional connection. It underscored the value of standing up for oneself and others, regardless of the circumstances. In the days that followed, Jonas and Lara continued to work closely together, their bond strengthened by the shared experience. The investment from the Chinese client materialized, bringing new opportunities to Jonas's business and contributing to the community's growth. As for Kelly, the incident served as a turning point, prompting her to reassess her actions and the impact they had on others. Ultimately, the wedding had been more than just a social event. It had been a catalyst for change, revealing the true character of those involved and setting the stage for a new chapter in Jonas's life and career. Peter's eyes were filled with sorrow as he continued, his voice cracking with emotion. We were heartbroken, and the loss of Nora left a void that we couldn't fill. I tried to put the past behind me and focus on my work, but I never stopped thinking about her. Now, seeing Lara, it's like looking at a ghost from my past. I had to come and tell you this, even though it feels like a dream. Jonas, still reeling from the chaos of the wedding and Lara's accident, listened intently, trying to process the weight of Peter's revelation. Are you saying that Lara could be? Peter nodded slowly, tears in his eyes. It's a long shot, but the resemblance is striking. I've never seen anyone who looks so much like Nora. I don't know if it's a coincidence or something more, but I wanted you to know. I'm deeply sorry for the trouble this has caused. If there's any way I can help, please let me know. Jonas was at a loss for words. The emotional turmoil of Lara's accident combined with this unexpected information was overwhelming. He tried to reconcile Peter's story with what he knew of Lara. The idea of her being connected to Peter's lost daughter was both haunting and intriguing. Thank you for coming forward, Jonas finally said, his voice filled with exhaustion. I don't know what to say or do with this information right now. Lara is in a coma, and I'm just trying to stay hopeful. But I'll keep this in mind. Peter nodded, understanding the gravity of the situation. I completely understand. If there's anything I can do to assist with Lara's situation or if you need more information, don't hesitate to reach out. I just wanted to share this with you. If you're still tuned into this video and find the story inspiring, drop a 3 in the comments to let me know you're still with me. With that, Peter left Jonas's office, leaving behind a heavy sense of uncertainty. Jonas sat back in his chair, staring at the space where Peter had been, his mind racing with thoughts about Lara's condition and the startling possibility that she might be connected to Peter's late daughter. Days continued to drag on in the hospital. Jonas and Julie spent every available moment by Lara's bedside, reading to her, holding her hand, and hoping for a miracle. Despite their efforts, Lara remained in a deep coma, her condition unchanged. Jonas began to explore the connection between Lara and Peter's lost daughter more deeply. He contacted Peter to obtain any additional information that could help clarify the situation. Peter provided Jonas with old photographs of Nora and details about her medical history. The resemblance between the photographs and Lara was uncanny. Driven by a mix of hope and desperation, Jonas consulted with experts in genetics and family history to investigate further. The possibility that Lara might be connected to Peter's daughter began to seem more plausible. Jonas considered the impact this revelation could have on Lara's recovery and the complex emotions it would stir within Peter and his family. As the investigation progressed, Jonas remained by Lara's side, hoping for her to wake up and for the truth to be revealed. The uncertainty of the situation was agonizing, but Jonas's determination to support Lara and find answers never wavered. The unfolding mystery added a new layer of urgency and complexity to an already challenging situation. Lara's recovery remained the primary focus, but the potential connection to Peter's daughter cast a long shadow over Jonas's thoughts. The coming days would reveal not only Lara's fate, but also the deeper truths about identity, family, and the impact of the past on the present. Jonas sat beside Lara's bed, his heart heavy with the weight of the recent revelations. Peter's story had turned everything upside down, adding layers of complexity and emotion to an already heart-wrenching situation. The idea that Lara was Peter's long-lost daughter, separated from him by a tragic twist of fate, was both surreal and profound. As Jonas held Lara's hand, he couldn't shake the feeling of guilt that gnawed at him. The accident, the wedding, the deception. all seemed to converge in a cruel irony that left him grappling with his role in this unfolding drama. The accident had brought Peter and Lara together in the most unexpected way, revealing connections that spanned years and crossed paths in the most unlikely manner. Peter's determination to find the best care for Lara was a beacon of hope amid the uncertainty. His promise to do everything in his power to save her was a reminder of the profound bonds of family and the lengths to which people will go for their loved ones. Jonas admired Peter's resolve, even as he wrestled with his feelings of inadequacy and helplessness. The doctor's prognosis was grim, but Peter's intervention might just be the lifeline Lara needed. The thought of Lara being in a coma, her fate hanging in the balance, was a constant source of anguish for Jonas. He spent hours by her side, talking to her, sharing memories, and trying to comfort himself with the belief that she could somehow sense his presence. Days turned into weeks as Lara remained in her coma, her condition stable but unchanged. Peter was true to his word, arranging for consultations with top specialists and exploring every possible avenue for treatment. His commitment was unwavering, and Jonas found solace in the fact that Lara had someone fighting for her with such fervor. One evening, after an exhausting day, Jonas sat in the hospital waiting room, reflecting on the journey that had led him here. The soft hum of hospital machinery and the occasional footsteps of medical staff created a backdrop of quiet tension. He thought about Lara's life before the accident, the challenges she had faced, and the strange twist of fate that had brought Peter back into her life. In a moment of quiet introspection, Jonas wondered if Lara could sense the love and support surrounding her. He clung to the hope that the connection between her and Peter, combined with the unwavering support of those who cared for her, would be enough to pull her through this dark time. As Jonas prepared to leave the hospital for the night, he caught a glimpse of Peter standing in the corridor, talking to one of the doctors. The look of concern etched on Peter's face spoke volumes about the emotional toll the situation had taken on him. Jonas approached him, offering a supportive nod. "We're doing everything we can," Peter said, his voice filled with determination. "I believe she'll wake up soon. I just know it." Jonas nodded, appreciating Peter's optimism. "Thank you for everything you're doing. I can't imagine how difficult this must be for you." Peter's eyes softened. "It's been a long and painful journey, but knowing that Lara has someone like you by her side makes a difference. We'll keep hoping, and we'll keep fighting." As Jonas left the hospital, the weight of the situation was still heavy on his shoulders. The road ahead was uncertain, but he resolved to remain steadfast in his support for Lara and Peter. The connection between them was a reminder of the unexpected ways in which life could intertwine, and the importance of hope and perseverance in the face of adversity. As Lara and Jonas arrived at Peter's mansion, the grandeur of the place was almost overwhelming. The opulent surroundings, with manicured gardens, sparkling fountains, and exquisite sculptures, seemed like something out of a dream. Lara's eyes widened with amazement as she took in the beauty of the estate, each detail a stark contrast to the life she had known. Peter greeted them warmly, his eyes reflecting a mix of joy and relief. The emotional weight of their reunion hung heavily in the air, and the promise of a new chapter for Lara and her family seemed tangible. Peter led them inside, where the interior matched the exterior in elegance. Crystal chandeliers hung from the ceilings, and the walls were adorned with fine art. The atmosphere was a blend of comfort and sophistication, a far cry from the struggles Lara had faced before. As they settled into the drawing room, Peter began to share more about the past and the pain of losing Nora. Lara listened intently, her heart aching for the parents who had suffered so much. Peter's voice trembled with emotion as he spoke about his daughter, the life they had built for her, and the unexpected twist of fate that had brought Lara into their lives. Despite the heaviness of the conversation, there was also a sense of healing in the air. The knowledge that Lara and Peter were finally reunited, and the support Jonas provided, began to mend the fractures of their past. The once separated family was now bound by a shared history and a mutual desire to build a future together. Later that evening, as Lara walked through the gardens with Peter, she reflected on the journey that had led her to this moment. The lush greenery and the tranquility of the surroundings offered a stark contrast to the chaos of recent events. Peter spoke about the plans he had for them, his desire to make up for a lost time, and his hope that their future together would be filled with love and understanding. Lara felt a mix of emotions: gratitude for Peter's love and efforts, sadness for the years lost, and a sense of cautious optimism for the future. She knew that there would be challenges ahead, but the support from Jonas and Peter, along with the warmth of the mansion and its surroundings, provided a sense of comfort and hope. Back inside, Jonas and Yuli were busy making plans for their new life together. Yuli's excitement about the future and her eagerness to welcome Lara into their family provided a bright spot amid the emotional roller coaster. The bond between Yuli and Lara was growing stronger, and the prospect of building a life together filled everyone with hope. As the evening came to a close, Lara found herself reflecting on the incredible turn of events that had unfolded. From the shocking discovery at the wedding to the heart-wrenching accident and the subsequent reunion with her biological family, it was as if fate had orchestrated a series of events to bring her to this new beginning. In the privacy of her room, Lara and Jonas had a quiet moment alone. They talked about their future, their dreams, and the life they wanted to build together. Their conversation was filled with a mix of excitement and trepidation, but above all, a deep sense of commitment to each other. Jonas took Lara's hand, his eyes filled with sincerity. "We've come through so much, Lara. I want you to know that whatever happens, I'm here for you. We'll face everything together. This is our chance to build something beautiful." Lara looked into his eyes, her heart full. "I feel the same way, Jonas. This is our chance to start anew, to create the life we've always dreamed of. I'm ready for whatever comes next, as long as we're together." Their embrace was a promise of the future, a testament to the strength of their love and the new chapter they were about to begin. The mansion, with its grandeur and history, would now be the backdrop for their journey. A journey of healing, love, and the promise of a brighter tomorrow. Peter's wife, and embraced Lara with a love that transcended years and distance. As she wrapped her arms around her daughter, the warmth and tenderness in the hug seemed to heal a part of Lara that had been longing for such affection. "Lara, my dear, I can hardly believe this moment is real. You look so much like Nora, especially that freckle under your chin. I'm so sorry we weren't there for you. We were deceived, but I'm so grateful to finally have found you." For Lara, the embrace was more than just a physical connection. It was a balm for the wounds of her past. No one had ever held her so close, spoken to her with such genuine emotion, or made her feel truly cherished. She clung to Anne, feeling an overwhelming sense of peace and warmth she had never known before. "I'm so happy that you found me and didn't give up," Lara whispered, tears welling in her eyes. "Before meeting Jonas, I was so unhappy. There were times I wished to disappear. But now, I want to do everything I can to make you proud." Peter, visibly moved by Lara's words, took her hand firmly. "Lara, my dear, now you're home. You are a part of this family, and we will never lose you again. I want you to know that you have a place with us and a future ahead of you. We can offer you a significant role in our construction companies, and I would be thrilled to teach you everything you need to know. However, I noticed you didn't bring any luggage. I understand if you choose to stay with Jonas and Julie." Lara looked at Peter with gratitude and conviction. "Dad, Jonas, and I are deeply in love, and I've chosen to stay with him and Julie. They have become incredibly important to me. But I promise I will visit you often so we can build our relationship. I hope you understand." Peter embraced Lara warmly once more, his eyes reflecting his love and understanding. "I am genuinely happy with your decision. Family is what truly matters in life. I know Jonas well, and I have witnessed his strength and resilience. Despite the challenges with Kelly, he has emerged stronger and more successful. He needs you now, and I believe you are the perfect partner for him. Our home is always open to you, and we are eager to meet our granddaughter. I look forward to spending time with her and sharing in the joy of her presence." Lara began her new life with Jonas and Yuli, and from the moment she stepped into their home, she felt a profound sense of belonging. Yuli, radiant with happiness, never left Lara's side. The bond between them grew stronger each day, with Yuli cherishing the presence of a truly caring mother figure. Lara's role in Jonas's life was a stark contrast to what he had experienced with Kelly. While Kelly had demanded affection, money, and other superficial things, Lara's support was rooted in genuine care and understanding. She was there for Jonas in ways he had never imagined, providing comfort, affection, and thoughtful solutions to his problems. Her presence was a stark reminder of the emotional void Kelly had left behind. If you're still tuned into this video and find the story inspiring, drop a 4 in the comments to let me know you're still with me. Jonas came to appreciate the depth of Lara's love and commitment. He recognized that, in contrast to his past with Kelly, he now had a partner who truly valued him and their relationship. Lara's actions reinforced the realization that his previous marriage had been fraught with unfulfilled needs and unmet expectations. As time passed, the wounds from Jonas's past began to heal, and he found satisfaction in his new life with Lara. Their relationship blossomed, marked by mutual respect and deep affection. Meanwhile, Kelly's new marriage with Gail was fraught with tension. After the fiasco at the wedding, their relationship deteriorated further. Gail's frustration was palpable. "Look at the mess you've caused. Why did you invite him without telling me? You've made everyone focus on him, completely overshadowing us. And now, the woman with Jonas is in the hospital because of the commotion you created. What a disastrous start." Kelly's bitterness was evident in her response. The turmoil in her personal life mirrored the chaos she had caused, and her new marriage seemed to be unraveling as quickly as her previous one had. The contrast between her tumultuous relationships and the genuine love that had developed between Jonas and Lara was stark, highlighting the transformative power of true connection and the significance of moving forward from the past. Kelly's world had unraveled in a way she hadn't anticipated. The realization that her manipulative schemes and failed marriage had led her to this point left her reeling. Her frustration drove her to drink more heavily, seeking solace in a bottle while desperately trying to undermine Lara and hurt Jonas. Ironically, it was Kelly who ended up being the subject of ridicule. The public's perception of Lara as a mere vagabond was shattered when it was revealed that she was the daughter of a construction magnate. With Lara and Jonas working together on groundbreaking projects, their combined efforts quickly brought them fame and success, which only highlighted Kelly's downfall. Gail, who had once seemed so appealing to Kelly, soon lost his charm. The disillusionment with her choices set in, and she found herself questioning her decisions. If she did that with her partner and lover, what could she do with me? She pondered. Meanwhile, Gail, filled with regret and anger, wondered. If she could betray her ex-husband and abandon her daughter, what awaits me? Their relationship fell into a mire of mistrust and regret, leaving them both disillusioned and contemplating their future together. The final revelation of Kelly's true character led Gail to make a decisive break. Recognizing the futility of continuing their relationship, he decided to leave and seek a new beginning far from the city that held so many painful memories. With his charm and intelligence, Gail quickly found new opportunities and a fresh start, leaving Kelly behind. Stripped of her previous advantages, Kelly found herself destitute and alone. The wealth and stability she had once enjoyed were now a distant memory, and she was left to grapple with the harsh reality that Jonas had always been the love of her life. Desperate and tormented by her past actions, Kelly embarked on a frantic mission to win Jonas back. Believing that he was the key to reclaiming her former life, she camped outside his office, inundated him with calls, and attempted to please him in any way she could. But Jonas, resolute in his decision, rejected every overture. "Kelly, please stop calling me, showing up at my office, and seeking me out," he told her firmly. "I don't have the patience for this anymore. You destroyed what we had, and now you want to reconcile. I'm glad you're sorry, but there's no possibility of rebuilding our relationship. Julie and I are creating a new life with someone who truly values what we have. Please leave us alone and stop trying to contact us." Despite Jonas's clear rejection, Kelly remained obstinate, clinging to the hope of forgiveness and a new beginning. When it became apparent that there was no chance of rekindling their romance, Kelly shifted her focus to demanding to see her daughter, even though Jonas had never prevented this. Initially, Julie was thrilled by her mother's renewed interest and the prospect of spending weekends together. On a sunny Saturday at the park, Julie eagerly shared her happiness with Kelly. With bright eyes, she recounted how Lara had taught her to draw and make rag dolls and always made time to discuss anything with a smile. But as Julie continued to extol Lara's virtues, Kelly's jealousy and frustration erupted. "Enough, Julie. Why are you only talking about that Lara?" Kelly snapped, her voice filled with bitterness. "She's just a freeloader, a homeless person who shouldn't be in our lives. Don't you love me anymore as your mother?" Julie, startled and frightened by her mother's outburst, pleaded to return to her haven with her dad and Lara. "Mom, I don't want this. I'm happy with Dad and Lara. He smiles now. He isn't sad anymore. And Lara is always there for me. I love you because you're my mom, but I can't stay here. You never say anything nice. You just get angry." The contrast between Kelly's tumultuous relationship with her daughter and the nurturing environment provided by Lara and Jonas became starkly apparent. Julie's plea for a return to the safety and love she found with her father and Lara was a testament to the positive changes in her life, highlighting the stark difference between the two maternal figures. The stark reality of Kelly's situation hit her hard, realizing the gravity of her mistakes in discussing sensitive matters with Julie, an innocent child who deserved only love and protection. Trying to amend her approach, Kelly found that the damage had already been done. Less than an hour after Julie's distressing encounter, they called Jonas. Although reluctant, he took his daughter back home. Upon arriving, Julie was warmly greeted by Lara in the kitchen, where an atmosphere of affection and cooperation awaited her. "Hi, Julie. It's so good to see you," Lara said with a warm smile. "I could use a hand here. How about we make an orange cake together? Your dad loves it. We'll prepare the dough, and if you help me, he can even scrape the pot later. We're a team now." Julie and Lara immersed themselves in the task with enthusiasm, transforming the kitchen into a place of learning and joy. Time flew by, and before they knew it, night had fallen. Jonas, observing the scene, couldn't help but reflect on the contrast between Lara and Kelly. How is it that Lara can offer so much love and understanding while Kelly struggles to connect with her daughter? He pondered. "I am incredibly grateful to have Lara in our lives, bringing the true essence of family love and mutual support." Meanwhile, Kelly battled her internal storm. Unable to find solace after her tumultuous encounter with Julie, she turned to alcohol and medication as an escape, blaming Lara for her unhappiness and isolation. Convinced that Lara was the cause of her separation from Jonas and the rift with her daughter, Kelly spiraled deeper into destructive thoughts, even fantasizing about removing Lara from their lives. In a moment of desperation, fueled by alcohol, Kelly decided to drive to Jonas's house with a sinister plan in mind. However, fate intervened before she could act on her tragic intention. Losing control of her vehicle, she crashed violently into a tree, causing a commotion in the neighborhood. Jonas, Lara, and Julie, alerted by the noise, rushed outside to find the chaotic scene. Kelly, emerging from the wreckage with injuries and covered in blood, began to beg Jonas desperately, "Jonas, you need to come back to me. I'm the right choice for you. Let's forget this manipulator and start over. Just us and our dear daughter. Don't you believe?" Seeing her mother in such a deplorable state, Julie cried and said softly, "Mom, you're wrong. You've drunk too much and are saying nonsense. I don't want to go with you, and I don't want you to stay. Lara is good to us. Please don't speak about her like that." Frustration overcame Kelly, and disregarding her daughter's pleas, she tried to advance toward them, especially toward Lara. But in her unsteady state, she stumbled and fell to the ground. Soon, an ambulance arrived to take her to the hospital. The gravity of her actions and the tragic news of her imminent death deeply shook everyone. Despite the pain, Jonas showed himself to be an even more dedicated father and partner with Lara by his side. He offered Julie all the support she needed, explaining the situation with care and compassion. At Kelly's funeral, Julie grieved deeply but understood that her mother's actions led to this tragedy. As the months passed, Lara, Jonas, and Julie grew closer, sharing joyful moments such as movie nights and other family activities. Julie, healing from her loss and surrounded by the love of her father and Lara, embraced life with a renewed sense of hope and joy. The trio, now a true family, thrived on their unbreakable bond, marked by love, mutual respect, and a genuine connection. As we wrap up this compelling journey, we've seen the transformative power of love, redemption, and the enduring strength of family bonds. From the poignant reunion of Lara with her biological family to the painful unraveling of Kelly's life, we've witnessed how choices and actions ripple through our lives and impact those we care about. Reflecting on this story, what insights or lessons have stood out to you? How can the experiences of Lara, Jonas, and Kelly influence your own life? We'd love to hear your thoughts and what you plan to incorporate into your life. Please share one key takeaway and how you'll apply it in the comments below. If you found this video meaningful, leave a comment, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more content that inspires and empowers. Your support helps us continue to bring you stories and insights that matter. Thank you for watching, and we look forward to seeing you in our next video.